Let me talk to you about EIN only business loan for Sprinter van business. So we're talking about a $5 million power call here, boss. $5 million maximum loan amount. So here's a review I want you to pay attention to. Number 8, we have time payments. Our score 8/10. So when you think about time payments, I want you to think about a lender that will give you an EIN only business loan for your Sprinter van. And here you have equipment financing in general of up to $1.5 million, term 12 to 60 months. And so you are able to apply using EIN only, or you can use your social if you want to. If you want to use your social, they want you to have a minimum credit score of 550. Otherwise, they will take your EIN only business loan application. Not a problem at all. And the cool thing is that you can get funded within one business day. This is really great. Let me quickly go through the pros and cons of time payment. The pros. This loan is great for lower APRs, especially if you're looking for a business loan for your Sprinter van business. You have fast credit decisions, and you can get approved with bad credit or fair credit. Not a problem if you choose to have a non-EIN only route. Okay. So what about the cons here? Now, there are some restricted states. So if you are in California and Vermont, you may not qualify for a Sprinter van business through time payments. And this lender doesn't build business credit. So you remember, when we talk about business loans or business lines of credit, you can also self-report to credit bureaus, but this lender is not doing it for you. In addition to that, you have some documentation fees that actually go all the way to 5% of the loan fees. You also have advanced payment fees. But overall, if you are trying to buy a new Sprinter van, you want to buy one, or you want to buy a fleet of a Sprinter van, you really will love this time payments. Sorry about this. One thing I want to say here is that what we love about time payment is that they're really flexible. You're looking at 12 to 60 months here. This is really, really cool. But overall, this is a great lender. We love that a lot. And you can actually finance the Sprinter van or a fleet. You can even buy other stuff like equipment for your Sprinter van business. Fantastic. Number 7, we have South End Capital. Our score 8.2/10. So when you think about South End Capital, I want you to think about an EIN only business loan lender for a Sprinter van business, and they can actually lend you up to $5 million. Obviously, you're not spending $5 million on one Sprinter van, but you can buy one van, or you can buy a fleet of vehicles. You can also finance other parts of your Sprinter van business. Okay, it's not just about the vehicles. If you want to buy equipment or whatever, this South End Capital can help you out. And in terms of the repayment window, you can actually get up to 10 years. And you can apply using EIN only, or you can apply using your social. You have two options here. If you want to use your social, they want you to have at least 600 to 700 in FICO score. Okay. And so here are the pros and cons of this lender, South End Capital. Pros: this lender is great for term length, no application fees. You have 0% down payments. You have same day funding available, and you have custom payment terms. So this is really great. What about the cons here? This South End Capital wants you to have 2-year minimum time in business before actually applying for your Sprinter van, and it doesn't build business credit. Again, here you have the ability as a borrower to self-report to credit bureaus. We're speaking here about Dun & Bradstreet. We're speaking about Experian business and Equifax business. So this is very important. And there are some fees though. I mean, you have appraisal and environmental report fees depending on the specific loan that you want to get. But overall, this is really great. And so this South End Capital is actually based in St. Cloud, Minnesota. And it is a division of Stearns Banks. And they offer equipment financing for new and used equipment, including Sprinter vans, cargo vans, and other stuff. Okay. And you can get approved in hours and work with one of the company's certified lease finance professionals to find term and payment options that make sense for your small business, including your Sprinter van business. This is kind of cool. By the way, boss, Welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here to have this quick convo with you about EIN only business loan for sprinter van businesses. We're speaking about a power play of potentially $5 million. Number 6, we have Paradigm, our score, 8.5 over 10. When you think about Paradigm, I want you to think about the larger equipment financing program where you can get up to $5 million. So if you want to finance your sprinter van, you want to finance other parts of your sprinter van business, this is kind of cool. And terms here, you have 24 to 48 months. We love that a lot. And you have the ability to apply using EIN only, or you can apply using your social. If you want to use your social, Paradigm wants you to have a minimum credit score of 550 to 600. And time to funding, we have a 1 day here. This is kind of cool. So Paradigm actually is based in Layton, Utah. And the cool thing is that it's actually working to, it really serves sprinter van businesses all across the country. So let's quickly talk about the pros and cons here. So what are the pros? Paradigm is great for specialty equipment and also sprinter van businesses. Paradigm will consider borrowers with less than perfect credit if you want to go through the non-EIN only routes. Paradigm allows you to apply using EIN only, and you have access to over 500 equipment brokers nationwide. So this is kind of cool. And what are the cons here? Paradigm does not actually finance restaurants. So if you are, if you're a sprinter van business, you don't really care anyway. And Paradigm actually doesn't report your transactions to business credit bureaus, so you need to self-report. Okay, there is an underwriting fee, so a one-time fee of 2.5% of the total advanced amount is actually added to your balance at funding. You also have an admin fee, which is $50 monthly payments. So this is really what it is. You also have, in addition to that, you have a $500 documentation fee, a doc fee. So again, this is worth it, but the maximum loan amount here, $5 million. So it is really just fantastic. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about a $5 million power call. We're specifically talking about EIN only, business loan for a sprinter van business. So I'm giving you a list. Number 5, we have Global Financial. Our score, 8.9 over 10. So when you think about Global Financial, I want you to think about a maximum loan amount of $1 million. So Global Financial will finance your sprinter van business using EIN only. And the term here, you are looking at the repayment window. You have 1 to 5 years. And if you have the option to apply using EIN only or using your social. If you want to use your social, the minimum credit score here is 500. And this is really what it is. So when you think about Global Financial, think about a player that provides sprinter van business loans, cargo van business loans. In general, they provide equipment financing to small and medium-sized businesses in a variety of industries. And they've been doing this for the last 15 years. And you can get approved even if you have bad credit or a history of bankruptcies or tax liens. So upon approval, you may customize the terms to meet your unique budget and needs. This is really good. Let me quickly go through the pros and cons of this lender. So when we talk about Global Financial, what are the pros here? This lender is great for lower credit. No down payment is required. You can lock in up to $1 million in funding for your sprinter van business. EIN only, of course. This lender builds business credit. In other words, they report your data to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax business, and Experian business. And so the thing here is that there is also equipment for sale on this lender website, just in case you are interested. So this is kind of cool. What about the cons here? For Global Financial, restricted equipment includes lighting equipment, for example, or HVAC, HVAC. And so you also have limited financing for restaurants and owner-operated trucking. So you also have to think about a $500 documentation fee. So this is also an important element. Now, some people may like it, some people may not like it. So it is what it is. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you once again of today's topic. We're having a conversation about a $5 million power call, speaking about EIN only, business loan for Sprinter van businesses. This is important. And what I want to say here is that, so this is so Global Financial, our score, 8.9 over 10. Number 4, we have commercial funding partners. Our score, 9 over 10. So when you think about commercial funding partners, you have equipment financing that goes from 25,000 all the way to $500,000. Okay, 25,000 all the way to $500,000. So you can buy your Sprinter van business. You can get a Sprinter van business loan through this lender, and 25,000 all the way to $500,000. And so if you can apply using EIN only, or you can say, you know what, I want to use my social. If you want to use your social, the minimum credit score goes from 565 to 665, and time to funding as fast as 1 day. So you can be funded within 24 hours. So what are the pros and cons here? So pros, this lender is great for amounts of funds, very generous. You may lock in $500,000 plus in funding, and you have funding as fast as 1 day. What about the cons here? The minimum loan amount goes from $25,000 all the way to $150,000. So some borrowers may say, you know what, this is just too much. I don't want to get into that. And you actually cannot build business credit through this borrowers, but you can actually, through this lender rather, but you can actually self-report. So you can self-report, not a problem at all. And in terms of fees, the fees really vary. So fees really vary, and this is really good. Now, one thing I want to say here is that this lender, Global Financial, is actually not Global Financial here. So we have commercial funding partners. So Financial Funding Partners is headquartered in Draper, Utah. Okay. They've been around since 1987. So that's a long time. Okay. It offers equipment financing for up to $500,000 or more to small business owners. So whether you're in small, like if you have a Sprinter van business or you have a cargo van business or other industries also, this lender is great. Commercial Funding Partners. And just make sure that you have been in business for at least 3 years under your belt to get approved. And you may actually lock in flexible rates and rate terms. This is just fantastic. Number 3, we have Sentra Funding. Our score, 9.2 over 10. So when you think about Sentra Funding, I want you to think about a maximum loan amount, EIN only, of $150,000. So you can be approved for your Sprinter van business using EIN only up to $150,000. The minimum, it goes from $5,000. So $5,000 all the way to $150,000. In terms, you're looking at 24 to 60 months. And the minimum credit score, if you want to apply using your social, because they give you options. So you have the option to apply using your social. You want to have a minimum 490 all the way to 590. In terms of time to funding, you can be funded within the same business day, not a problem at all. And let me quickly go through the pros and cons here. Pros. Sentra Funding is great for when it comes to ease of process. The whole process is very easy to follow. You have same day funding. And so Sentra Funding also partners with equipment lenders. And this loans is available it's available to startups and established businesses. So this is really cool. We love this a lot. What about the cons here? This lender does not build business credit. So as a borrower, you may be able to self-report to credit bureaus, and the maximum funding is limited to $150,000. But hey, listen, $150,000, this is still decent anyway. This is more than decent in our view. So if you're looking for a large loan amount, you will love Sentra Funding. By the way, I just want to quickly remind you that Sentra Funding is actually it's headquartered in Plano, Texas, and it is an equipment financing company that serves customers across the country. and it really specializes in equipment financing agreements, or EFAs, because this is really good. So when you think about EFA, an EFA is a loan in which the financier purchases the equipment upfront and the borrower repays it over time via a flat monthly rate. So if you are interested in this arrangement, you can go through an EFA and EIN only. EFA for your sprinter van business through Sentra, and Sentra Funding will do everything. Will take care of everything for you. Number 2, we have Lease, our score, 9.6 over 10. So when you think about Lease, I want you to think about a lender that's great for equipment leasing, especially sprinter van businesses. They do EIN only, or they do EIN only business lending, or business lending using your social. So here are what you need to think about. Now, Lease is really great in terms of approving you real fast. You can be approved within 12 hours. The only thing is that they're not as generous as all the other players. So the maximum loan amount is $20,000. Okay. And so it is what it is. So if you are looking for, let's say, a sprinter van business loan, maybe you want to have a used sprinter van, for instance, or you're going to have to negotiate through them. Okay. It is totally possible anyway. So the terms here, the repayment term, you have 24 to 60 months. The minimum credit score, if you want to apply using your social, it's 520. Otherwise, you can apply using EIN only, not a problem. So let's talk about the pros and cons here. Pros. In our view, this is the best option for sprinter van business loan request under $25,000 using EIN only. There's no hard credit pull, flexible terms and a credit score, and you have also a monthly payment. So this is a really, really important to think about. What about the cons here? Well, this lender does not operate in North Dakota, and this lender does not build business credit. So as a borrower, you may be able to self-report to credit bureaus. Okay. And so there are other fees that you need to be aware of. But the thing is that Sentra Funding is not really transparent about those fees. So what I want to say here is that if you need a new piece of equipment, including a sprinter van, then equipment financing is one way to finance that. You can go with a company like Lease that will help you buy the item you need and pay it back over time. And what we love is that Lease offers flexible terms and rates for a variety of business owners, including sprinter van business owners. So this is kind of cool. If you're a courier business or you are anything else, you can still qualify for Lease, not a problem at all. Number 1, the best of the best when it comes to EIN only business loans for sprinter van businesses, you have Balboa Capital. Our score, 9.9 over 10. What we love about Balboa is that you can get a loan from $20,000 to $250,000. Okay. And this is really cool. So $250,000, this is really good. And in some cases, they will actually bump you all the way to $500,000. This is totally possible. We've seen Balboa doing that. Okay. But you got to have like a strong fundamentals, at least on the financial side. And so you have terms 4, 36, 48, or 60 months. And so you can apply using EIN only, or you can apply using your social. If you say you want to use your social, then you have to have minimum credit score 520 all the way to 620. And you have time to funding as soon as 1 day. So this is really good. And so Balboa Capital in general offers customers up to $500,000 in equipment financing. So the average is $250,000, but if you have the right relationship with them, they can go all the way to $500,000. So, and Balboa does require some form of collateral for all their financing options. However, if you use them for financing equipment less than $350,000, you only need soft collateral. So let's talk about the pros and cons here. Pros. Balboa, in our view, is great for heavy machinery financing, but also courier businesses. You're talking about cargo vans, splitter vans, box trucks, pickup trucks, step-up vans. And so you have 1 hour approval time, which is really, really great. You have flexible term lengths, And you have one, so you also have like one finalized approval time. This is really great. Now, what about the cons here? Balboa has restricted industry, so you have oil and gas, for instance. If you are in oil and gas, you're not going to qualify. Of course, you are a courier business, so you don't really care about that. And if you are also a gun manufacturer, you don't really qualify. What about the cons here? I mean, I already talked about the cons, but the second disadvantage here, Balboa Capital does not actually help you build business credit. You're going to have to self-report here. You also have a $300 doc fee. And you have, in some cases, you have a $250 site inspection fee. Before we do a recap here, please check out our loan evaluation approach. We have a system in place when it comes to categorizing, listing, and evaluating EIN only business loans for a sprinter van business. Check this out. All right, let's quickly recap here. So number one, we have Balboa, our score 9.9 over 10. Number two, we have Lease, 9.6 over 10. Number three, we have Sentra Funding, our score 9.2 over 10. Number four, we have Commercial Funding Partners, 9 over 10. Number five, we have Global Financial, 8.9 over 10. Number six, we have Paradigm, our score 8.5 over 10. Number seven, we have South End Capital, 8.2 over 10. Number eight, we have Time Payment, our score 8 over 10. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.